Greens everyone, Core here. Time for a little minute review just for the latest My Hero Academia movie, World Missions, which, World Heroes Missions, which is pretty cool. I always try to watch these in the theater whenever they come out, and luckily I caught it the first day, first showing, and there was quite a few people in there. I was surprised. I thought it would have sold out like how previous versions have sold out, but I think maybe it just wasn't as advertised as before. I mean, it almost flew under my radar, and I usually keep up with My Hero Academia pretty wow, and it kind of caught me by surprise. But luckily, I got my tickets and I got in, and it was fun. I did see it in the English dub just because it's more enjoyable, and I don't really hate the English dub too much. There's maybe a couple voices that don't sound the best suited, but more or less they pretty much all like fit very well compared to the Japanese counterparts, of course. But of course, the Japanese is superior in my ears as far as the sounds and emotions and stuff to get through. But the English does its fair job as well, and they do have its moments where sometimes they have a little bit more emotion than Japanese cast. But yeah, so that out of the way, you get lots of cool angles, lots of cool movements, lots of cool animations. I gotta say, this is probably, of the three movies that they've come out with for theater and everything, My Hero, um, it's probably the third ranked, for me at least. I ranked the second one. Um, the second one, was it Two Heroes? I believe, right? The second one was Two Heroes. The first one was, oh man, what's the title of the first one? Totally forgot. Maybe I got that wrong. But yeah, so I ranked the uh, maybe the first. Oh man, now I'm totally spacing out now. Which ones was which? I feel like the first one maybe it might be Two Heroes, but yeah, it's pretty much I rank. If I had to rank them, the third movie is third in the rank. The second movie, actually, I rank it as number one, just because the first movie was really good, really solid. I mean, it was very enjoyable and everything, but I felt like the second movie was a little bit better because there were more developed characters. They had more abilities. The way that it was set up was a little bit better, I think. Where they're kind of stuck on an island and have to deal with this themselves, and they don't really have heroes to back them up. Where the first one kind of did have heroes to back them up once they were freed. This one is a lot different because it's kind of like the second movie where, yeah, they're isolated in one area, but they spread out, throughout the world, and they have like, I think there was like six locations of where class 1A was helping out in doing their work studies with some of the other heroes, class associations and stuff, agencies. So I believe it was six or maybe five. Yeah, I think there was six different teams that were grouped up. Which, yeah, Midoriya, Bakugo, and Shoto pretty much are kind of like the new big three. Like how My Hero, they had the year three big three students. These guys are kind of like the new big three. So they're the main group. They're the ones kind of in charge. They're the ones that about halfway through the story follows just them, which is nice because at the start you got a lot of heroes to keep track of. Some new heroes that they kind of introduce, which is pretty nice because you get this nice little. I got this nice little book when I went to go see it, which is pretty cool. It kind of breaks down the whole movie, gives you a little rundown, catches you up because there's what, 5 seasons, over 100 episodes, and as far as the manga is even more. So it's nice that they give this out. It does have some spoilers about in it and stuff, but it's not too bad. I mean, you definitely want to read this. I mean, you can read the first couple pages just to get the heads up of what's happening, just to catch up if you're not caught up. But after that, you want to kind of wait and watch the movie to finish reading the rest. But yeah, it's pretty neat. I'm glad. I always like when they give us free little goodies like this, which is just cool. I thought it was like a prequel chapter or something, but it's actually just a breakdown of all the characters and stuff that happened. Which, the cool thing, you got a nice little kind of lithograph cover on the back, as well as the movie poster there. So there's also a nice little thank you from the creator. So it's pretty cool. The one thing I kind of, I try not to spoil too much, but their outfits that they have here, which are like kind of like their stealth suits in a way, they don't really use them too much. I was kind of disappointed in that. I thought they were gonna have those throughout the whole, pretty much throughout the whole movie, but yeah, they didn't, unfortunately, which was a little bit disappointing for me. But just because I like the design, I like how it pretty much has the primary colors for Deku and Bakugo, the green and reddish orange. Shoto, of course, it's pretty simple and plain, kind of like how he is. But yeah, it's a little disappointing that way. I gotta say the villain in this one's pretty cool. It's an interesting quirk that they have. The side character that helps him out, Rhodey, is pretty neat. He reminds me of the kid from Shaman King, the main character, but man, I forget his name. He just, as far as design, even the attitude kind of too, he kind of reminds me of. But yeah, it's interesting to say the least. His character early on kind of but later on it does get better. He has his motivations and stuff, which, yeah, I mean, with every movie they have to introduce pretty much, someone key, except for yeah, even the first one, they always each movie they always introduce someone that's key to the movie, and this one is key, but also not as key compared to the first. In even the second one, I think, was there. Yeah, the second one, yeah, there was. Yeah, so it's definitely, he's not as of a key player, even though he does play a big factor in this movie. But yeah, it's, whatever, it works. So he's cool, he's interesting, and he's, enjoyable enough. He's a good character overall. It's just, in the story wise, he does kind of play a back seat to the main cast until he's actually needed. So unfortunately he gets that treatment, but overall it's not that bad. But yeah, the movie definitely enjoyable. There's some pretty cool animation scenes. The middle doesn't linger as much as the other movies. There's little actions here and there to kind of keep the pace quick and interesting, where the other ones kind of die down pretty bad in the middle. But this one has a pretty decent. I didn't feel like I was getting too bored. Of course, they do have like a little music video kind of montage thing, but it's enjoyable enough. Very beautiful scenes. I mean, they really went crazy with these sceneries because they're all over the world to different locations. So they really got to have fun with the backgrounds and environments and everything. So it's cool. It's enjoyable. It's fun. I mean, all the movies have been really great. It's just, like I said, I think the second one has been the top so far. First one is definitely second place, and this one, it's a close third, but unfortunately someone has to come in last. Not saying it's a bad movie, it's just, in my ranking, that's just how I think. But overall, not bad. Hopefully next week I'll be seeing Eternals. I'll have a review for that. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that if you're interested, because so far the critic reviews have been kind of meh. And a lot of times critic reviews and audience reviews usually differ quite a bit. So we'll see. But until then, guys, later.